All right, that better?
Yes.
All right, can everybody hear me?
Yep.
All right, hey, totally sorry about that, guys. Weather is pretty horrible down here in Texas right now, but I had to jump off my laptop and jump on my phone, so
Aha.
please forgive me.
Hey, no problem.
But
We
anyway,
understand.
hey,
We
yeah,
understand about tech issues.
yeah, man, tech issues is hell. But anyway, hey, everybody, I would like for you guys to uh, introduce yourselves. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. How's everybody doing this evening?
Doing well.
Uh,
Doing well.
that's good. Now, tonight we are broadcasting all over the world, man. So if you're in East Coast, West Coast, Central, Midwest, or even Tokyo, Japan, welcome. To all our friends over there in Japan, welcome. To
Welcome.
my friends all over the world, welcome. Tonight we have Cobra Paranormal. Cobra Paranormal, man. I love the name. I love the logo.
Thank you.
I wish y'all would have thought of it first. But anyway, hey, please introduce yourselves, guys.
I am Keith Ottersberg. I am the founder and lead investigator for Cobra Paranormal. I was on a TV show called The Dead Files. I'm sure some people out there are familiar with that. Season 10, episode 11, the title was Till Death. This is the home. It looks a little different now than it used to, but this is the home, I guarantee. Had a little house fire and had to gut it and start over. So it's still in process. So it's been a little bit of a journey. And
I'm Renee Cody, and I'm actually from New England, so up here in Connecticut, and I am the researcher for Cobra Paranormal.
and she's good at it.
Yes, well, the fingers do the work, the magic.
Yeah, I'm having all kind of technical issues.
We're used to it.
Anyway, continue, bro. Please continue.
The way Cobra Paranormal got started was I was plagued by the paranormal since I was 6 years old.
Mhm.
I see you, Christy.
I see you, Christy.
It caused a lot of issues in my life, not good issues either. Relationship issues, family issues, you name it. And so I really wanted some answers as to why this type of phenomena was happening to me.
Mhm.
So I started looking into paranormal teams, and I had a couple of them come down to my house in Beatrice, and naturally they got evidence. We caught doors, doorknobs turning and the door opening all by itself. We caught, EVPs and such, and it eventually nobody could find the cause. And none of the bad stuff would have happened when these teams were here, because we had some pretty horrendous stuff happen. Physical stuff. We were physically injured by these things. And so eventually I started setting up paranormal investigations for teams, that came to my house, also, down here in the homes in Beatrice. They allowed me to start investigating with them so I could learn more. Eventually I started my own. Actually, at first, that team split. I was asked to join this team over here. Don't laugh at the. No, I'm not going to say the name. I'm not going to say the name of it.
Please do. Please say the name.
Actually, I can't.
Is that the name?
I can't say the name. There's issues with said team. So anyway, it was an all-female group. I'll say that. But they already had the name before I joined. But,
okay.
So I joined them. They came down, investigator down here again. We got more evidence, but nobody could find the issue. Things started getting bad. We moved down here to Wymore, and we were clear for a bit. And then stuff started happening again. So I started looking around on TV. You know, I heard about paranormal shows. Okay, maybe one of them can help me.
Mm-hmm.
Looked at everyone I can find, and none of them were right. And all of a sudden, you know, I'm flipping through channels, and there's Amy Allen's face. I don't even know what show it is, and I just have to stop. That's her. And then I find out it's the Dead Files. And so I started reaching out to the Dead Files. And it took me a good 4 years to get them to come to my home.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They've got a very serious vetting process, which they need, you know, to make sure where they go there is paranormal activity that these people with, and it's not just somebody wanting to get on TV. I get it. But part of the reason why it took so long was I got it set up. They were going to come, and then all the activity stopped. Just stopped like you flipped a switch. And they were having some cases that involved children that were kind of nasty. So I'm like, you go do that. We're okay for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, the activity started up again. Got pretty bad. So I reached back out to them, and the producers had changed. So I had to start the vetting process over. So it took a while, but eventually I did get them to come to Wymore. It's a little bitty town, 1,683 people. And I was on city council and knew that they were coming. And I had to keep quiet because I couldn't legally say anything. I had signed contracts and whatnot. So it was an interesting process getting all this accomplished without anybody finding out, and getting permissions from city council for filming here and filming there and whatnot. But eventually they got here, and right back there in my living room, we had a little table set up to do the reveal, and Amy figured out what the problem was. As soon as she came down the stairs, I looked at her, she looked at me, and she was horrified. I was the issue. I was the main issue. So she got a hold of a team called Spirit Mechanics from Kentucky, and sent them up here to Nebraska. It's a 12, 13-hour jaunt. And they cleared the land, they cleared the house, and then they cleared me. And during all that, I quit the other team. I formed my own paranormal team, Cobra Paranormal, and my team was allowed to help them clear everything so we could learn. And Steve liked what he saw, our talents, our gifts. So he asked us to be the Nebraska chapter for the Spirit. So we have done the thing out there. We have helped some people. I was blessed enough to help on a couple of Dead Files cases, and success. We were able to give those people their lives back.
Wow, interesting.
Yes, we met Renee.
All right, my friend, what's going on?
Over time, she got to be a good friend, sister, and she is now a Spirit Mechanics trainee.
Yes,
and she is a member of Cobra Paranormal.
Okay, cool.
She's our researcher, and she does phenomenal at it.
You know what? They always seem to do phenomenal jobs. Man, I don't know what I can do without mine. But getting back to the Dead Files, they were here in Central Texas. I think we were in season 2.
Okay.
Called the Cedar Park Surroundings.
All right.
And that location is literally about 5 minutes from from my location now.
Okay.
Smack down in the middle of the town. You would never think something like that dramatic that was going on. Because they kept it so hush hush.
Yeah.
But I was able. When I looked at the video and I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute. I've seen that location before. So I was able to get a hold of a couple of realtors, an owner, and they were able to show me around the property. And man, that place is unbelievable. It really is. It's in the middle of the town, but hell, you would never, like I said, you would never think. And that's the craziest thing about the paranormal, because you never think that something is there, but it really is. Always keeps you guessing, always keeps you going, always turning. Hey, man, that paranormal book, it's just steady writing and it's just steady flipping pages. You know what I'm saying? So it's an ongoing thing. But yeah, and they were also out in a little town just east of here. Uh, Man, I think they've been in Texas multiple times.
Yeah, I believe they have.
Yeah, they have.
And I'm glad they started back up. You know, it'll give me an opportunity to look at some actual people, you know, that you know that are actually doing good work.
Yeah.
You know, compared to these other teams that are out there that, you know, you don't know what the hell they're going to do.
Not
You
wrong.
know, you really don't know. I
They
mean,
watch
I'm
a
not even.
few- They watch a few YouTube videos. They go on Amazon Prime, watch some people, and they think they can go out and they can go catch and get rid of the big bad uglies. When
Yeah,
sometimes the big bad uglies are meant there for a purpose.
Yeah.
But there's one I'm glad you mentioned that, Renee, because I come to find out that the big bad ugly, it's not always the big bad ugly.
No.
It's always something that's misunderstood or something that, you know, that wants to get your attention. So every spirit, every ghost, it's not a demon. It's not something malicious. I mean, it's not something that's out to get you. It just wants a little attention.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and my short tenure as a paranormal investigator, I've come to learn that, man, everything is not as malicious as people think it is.
No.
You know, and it's really, and I wish it really wasn't like that. But who do we blame for that?
We blame the paranormal, even though we don't understand it.
Yep.
Well,
Even when we might have stepped on their land, on their item they are protecting, they were given a job to do. We kept them from doing their job. You try to bank vault, that guard's got a job to do.
Right.
Yeah, he's gonna get you.
And you know, I've also, and me myself, I think it goes a little bit more past that. I blame Hollywood for most of the stuff that people have a tendency to think, you know, because Hollywood has a big influence on the world, on what they put out, what they produce, you know, and so when people go and see stuff like that, you know, they naturally rename and Keith, they think everything's bad.
Yeah, everything.
And it, you know, and it really gets under my damn skin. Did I say damn? I just cussed. I'm sorry.
I don't care.
I don't care.
You know, but it really gets. I mean, I just wish that somebody out of Hollywood would actually lay the law down and say, "Hey, world, this is how paranormal investigating is really done."
Yeah. I wish so too, but the problem is it doesn't pay the bills and it doesn't pay the backers that have for these shows and these movies.
That they have
you've got to have that D word, that it's got to be a demon. It's got to be a demon and then nothing else.
Yeah, that D word, man. It's, you know, that D word's been around since, oh man, a long time. Probably since the Catholic Church was really a big thing before they decided to do what they did with paranormal and just, you know, but that's another story. We can talk about that in a little bit. All right. Hey, Keith.
Yes.
How many members do you have in your town that are with you right now?
We're actually spread out. I'm in Wymore. Michelle is in Omaha. Renee is in
Connecticut. Foreign capital of the world.
Lisa, I think, is in Tecumseh, Nebraska. Chessa is, I don't remember what town she lives by. She's out in the country. Joni, she is from Kentucky or Virginia, right around down in that area. She's our astrologer. Am I forgetting anybody? My brain.
Sherilyn Fletcher?
She's not on the team officially.
Okay.
Uh-oh. You got a newbie on the team?
We got a couple. Oh, Amy. I knew it. Amy does live here in Wymore along with me. So, and then Christy, yeah, she's a side.
Yeah.
Christy is my roommate. Christy Ayers. She has had a very interesting life too, and we made friends by happenstance.
Okay.
And she does a lot of paranormal investigating at events, and it just developed into one hell of a friendship.
Okay. Are we referring to Christy? Is that Akers or Ayers?
Ayers.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not even going to say what she put in the comments.
But
That's her. Yeah.
I'll claim her. I have no problem claiming her.
She's upstairs actually right now watching.
Oh, wow. Well, hello. How you doing? All right. Keith, now you got this team together, man.
Yeah.
Was it hard for you to get everybody together?
Yeah.
How did you recruit everybody?
Again, happenstance. Meeting people at the right time, the right place, striking up a discussion. Hey, I'm into this. Hey, so am I. This is what I do. You want to join? You want to do this thing? You want to help people? It's just discussion. We've had members come and go, and that's okay. Teams all over have members come and go.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes that might be a good fit for a little while, and then it's time for them to move on, or it's time for us to move on. Eventually, you get down to the nitty gritty of who needs to be on your team. And
right.
That's pretty much what we got now.
Now, a quick question. How do you feel if a member of your team decides, hey, you know what? It's time for me to go on and start my own thing.
Cool. Do it.
Would you be upset by that?
No. That is them growing. That is
yes,
awesome.
Sir, it is.
Phenomenal. That is what we're about. Learning, growing, becoming who you need to be, who you want to be. If you want to go do your thing, cool. I will support you. I will promote you. As long as it's done in a good way. In a polite way. Not the F you, I'm doing this. Okay, you go do your thing over there.
Now, one thing, the thing about down here in Texas, and I preach a lot of para-unity because I see majority of the time. When people reach out to me, they usually have something good to say about me. But in some cases, there are teams out here that are just damn right, just cold-hearted.
Yes.
And considering
thing.
Yeah. And considering Nebraska, it's not really a big state. But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of locations that you guys, you really don't have to fight about, man, is it?
No, there's plenty to go around. There's some teams that frequent, one spot because they live closer there. They consider that their haunt. That's fine and dandy. My team is more about helping individual clients, families, rather than going to the big known haunted locations. We do that once in a while for practice, have a little fun. But when we're active, we try to help people, and we're just kind of starting to get back into things after taking about a 2-year hiatus. Health issues. I had my doctor, lost everything. I walked away with the shirt on my back, and I've had to rebuild. So it's taken a while, and I had to get the mentality back, the strength back, and the confidence back. Everybody on our teams had some kind of issue here or there. And we just decided to take a break because if we can't be 100% for us, how can we be 100% for somebody else?
There you go.
When you're normal, you need to be on your A game because if you go in there you can bring stuff home. You can screw things up for them. It can get downright dangerous. So
yes, sir. You know what, man? Swag. Swag is a mug, man. Swag can make you or break you.
Yeah.
If you got that swag, you got that type of paranormal swag, man, where you can just go in and you feel confident and you got this and your team is feeling confidence because you're the leader. So everything trickles down.
Yes.
And you know what, man? And that makes everything go so smooth. It's just like, it's just like my Ducks today, man. They went up there, they beat the hell out of Utah and everything. One leader, man, and everybody just filtered in. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah, it makes a difference.
It makes a hell of a difference.
It's a huge difference.
If you go into a case half-heartedly, afraid because you're not confident enough because of what you got going on in your life, they can feel it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Of that.
And they will suck what little energy you got right out of you. And next thing you know, you're like, man, I got to get the hell out of here. I can't do this. But the thing is, when a team member, in my team, everybody's important. Everybody has a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that one person who's not up to par and wants to leave in, a darn location, man, that puts so much pressure on everybody else. Because the next person's got to, got to jump in or take whatever that she was doing, and that. So when you come, man, you got to come with your A game. No ifs and buts about it.
Yeah, you do. You do for sure.
Especially some of these. Oh man, Texas has so many weird locations, man, and it's just it's mind-boggling, on the stuff that we've seen and the stuff that we've investigated, and man, there's a lot of energy in some of these locations. Most of them are hospitals, nursing homes, recovery centers that used to be state hospitals. Man, there's so much energy. So you got to come with it. Either come with your A game or go home.
That.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Either you have to do it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I can only say my team has been on the up. They down for any challenge. And, it's pretty cool when you got a team that Keith, that's just perfect for you. Yeah, they have that fit.
And I do that right there. Some people fit right in, some people do not, and that's okay. I used to just add people. Okay, I met this guy. Guess what? They're on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Caused a lot of issues. So I stepped back. I talked to my current team members. Hey, know this person. Why don't you check them out a little bit? Talk to them a little bit. Decide if they may be a good fit. If so, we'll put them on the team on a trial basis, kind of a probation period, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the way we try to do things now.
Hey, that's the best way, man. But the one thing that I've learned about is because I had a member that got sick on locations, and I've decided, I'm like, hey, man, I really got to cover my butt as a paranormal, the leader, the owner, the founder, and all that stuff. So I've decided to, hey, I got to draw up some contracts, man. Some legal stuff. So, I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get sued for, for something that an individual, like you said, Keith, take home, or, no telling what might follow you.
Yeah, you need to protect yourself. You
got to protect yourself.
Yep. You need to protect yourself from clients sometimes.
Definitely.
And you definitely need to vet your clients. You need to have a period of time before you go into this investigation where you talk to them on the phone. You have video chats with them. You get to know them. There are many things that can cause, quote, paranormal issues, schizophrenia, which isn't always schizophrenia.
Exactly.
Sometimes it is somebody just coming into their gifts and not understanding.
Right.
Grandmother heard voices and was hospitalized, institutionalized for schizophrenia. Nah, she was gifted. That's where I get mine. But you got to be careful. You don't know if somebody's on drugs. You don't know if somebody has a traumatic brain injury. You don't know if the EMF is so off the charts in their home that's affecting them.
Mm-hmm.
They're just hallucinating. Mold can cause the same thing. You need to dig down and dirty and try to root out all the root physical causes. Why is this happening? Why can this happen? And then once you get left over, okay, this is what we need to look into.
Exactly.
The lack of medication. When people are off their meds, and I don't know if you guys, the numbers, I'm just going to throw a number out there that you might guys want to agree or disagree with me, but I can honestly say that most of the paranormal that goes on in haunted locations, especially preferably houses or residents, is 85% mental and 15% paranormal. Would you guys agree or disagree?
It depends on the situation.
Yeah, situation.
I've had that, and we've also had the complete opposite. It just depends on the situation, and again, that's why you need to vet your clients, and they need to vet their teams.
Right.
If you ask a paranormal team to come into your home and help you, do not be afraid to do a background check on them.
Oh no, that's a must. You have to.
Yeah, I have no issue with that. I welcome it. You want to do a background check on me, my team?
Go ahead. I've got nothing to hide.
Yeah, go for it.
No, I ain't got nothing to hide. But they also have to understand that we're not professionals. Because I don't know any professional investigators. So we do make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we're human, just like everybody else.
Yeah,
mistakes are made.
Yeah, we might miss something, but if we need to go back, we'll go back.
Exactly. But I've run into cases where I've seen people just basically not taking their medication when they need to take their medication.
Yeah.
And I honestly say that's probably 85% of the time down here in Texas. And it's unbelievable how a small pill and will calm you down, make you more aware, or it make you not want to do that double take, thinking that you saw something in the corner, which it really wasn't. Yeah. Or you won't be paranoid when you think you got this 6-foot cockroach in your refrigerator drinking your milk. So there's a lot of things that medication can help you with. And I always tell people, before you even think that something paranormal is in your house, in your residence, hey, go to the doctor. Just because people, we don't want nobody to think that. I'd rather have a doctor think that you're loony than me come and tell you that you're loony. I'm saying, that you're seeing things.
There's blood pressure med that has side effects.
Yes.
It's not always the antidepressants, and it's not always the anxiety meds.
Yeah.
Or the depression meds. It's sometimes it's as simple as blood pressure. Sometimes it's diabetes. Sometimes it's carbon monoxide. Sometimes it's radon.
Yeah.
5G cell towers.
Or that damn Four Loko you drunk the night before.
That too. Could be that too.
Yeah. I was helping a lady overseas, and I cleansed her apartment, got everything out of there. We set up, had her set up protections in the apartment,
mm-hmm.
and she kept messaging me back. It's back. It's back. So I'd look. No, what I took care of is not back. You got something else. Okay, let's take care of that. Mm-hmm. But then it got to the point where there wasn't anything there. And I finally said, you've mentioned you're on these meds. I feel that a doctor can help you more than I can right now. And that's what I recommend. No offense. Mm-hmm. But that's just my personal opinion. And she went and got checked. She got her meds adjusted. No problem.
Yeah, good to go.
The paranormal was having an issue on her. So that was affecting how the meds were working. Okay. When the paranormal was gone, the meds weren't working the same. She went and got it readjusted. Everything's cool.
Okay, cool.
As simple as that.
All right, hey guys, we got a couple of shout outs. Pam Harris. Hey, feel free to ask us a question. If you want to ask us a question, feel free to do so. Memphis Ghost Hunters. You're a funny guy. You know, professionals, you know, in the eye of the beholder. If you think you are, you know, hey, you're a good guy to me. You're a very unorthodox guy that does a lot of weird things, just like me when we're investigating. That's cool because we're bringing new things to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so, hey, I commend the things that you do, brother. But, Renee, let me ask you a question. Speaking of unorthodox, these new age paranormal investigators, these kids that are in the age between 18 to 30, they're bringing new things to the table when they, investigate. You know, I know a couple of guys that are introducing the Ouija board back to back into their investigations. Would you allow that?
Ouija boards, yes, it's
a tool.
It's a tool, but it, like with everything else, like an SLS camera or dowsing rods or using yourself as a tool. If you don't understand the concept behind it, you can really mess a lot of things up to yourself and others around you.
Now, can you also put the cat balls in that same category?
I wouldn't put those cat balls in the same
because
category.
because you basically we're doing the same thing. The only difference between a Ouija board, we're actually moving it to spell things, but using the cat balls, we're actually using our voice to do the same thing. So would you not throw the cat balls in there?
With the board, you are asking them to interact with you and your energy. Okay. With a cat ball, you are asking them to interact with a piece of plastic.
Yep.
That's the difference I see.
Because you're using yourself and the Ouija board as a catalyst. You're asking a question, and what are you doing? You're using, if it was me and Keith doing a session, we're both using our energy. So we're allowing spirit to use us. Which that's where it can get a little, like Keith always goes, I will never let an entity or anybody use my energy ever again after what he went through.
Never.
Right.
I will never, after having my brush with the paranormal as a 5-year-old with black-eyed children, I will never. So it's a thing. So, like, to me, Ouija boards, I know my stance on it. I will never use one. I will never touch one. A cat ball, I'm leaving it there, and I'm saying, if please, you use your energy and you touch it, and me ask a question. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Ouija board, I'm not fine with it.
No, yeah, because I come to find out all these new, and it goes back. It goes back. Everything that these kids are doing today goes back to Hollywood because they're seeing all this and they think that they just can go out and just put a band of rebels together. And next thing you know, they form this team without any research, history, or anything that they're doing. They don't understand it.
Exactly.
Then they get attacked in their home and their work.
Exactly.
Yep.
Then they crying, then they running home to mama. Oh, something attacked me. Something hit me upside the head. You deserve to get hit upside the head because you're meddling with stuff you know nothing about.
Especially when you're provoking something and you don't know what it is.
And just because, and I know this is like a lump of everybody, but there's only a certain select few that I talk about. just because you wear a rosary and have a black hat and black glasses and wear a tight muscle shirt running around screaming demon doesn't mean you should be listening and following that person's lead.
Right.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. They look at TV and only those shows instead of looking at ones that like the Dead Files, which I believe is a really good show. The early years of Ghost Hunters, when it was, you know, the first 2 or 3 seasons of Ghost Hunters. Kindred Spirits was another one that I used to like to watch too, because it had good coffee and things like that.
They help people.
And it, you know, but when you're watching a certain one and they're always running around acting like a goofball. I mean, if they were in my house investigating my house and they're running around screaming,
yeah,
I'm not taking it serious.
No, I mean, I don't think anybody should. I mean, but the thing with those guys is they get into some of the best locations. It seems like nobody else can get into.
Well,
they have pull.
A, they have pull. B, they have a network behind them.
You know
and
what I'm saying?
And lawyers and all that, and then some.
But here's the thing, Renee. Don't every paranormal have a network behind them? I think so. Because you steady trying to promote yourself. You steady trying, to educate people. To me, that's a network. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're able, so you networking, but the thing is, this guy has made so much of a mockery of what we do. Mm-hmm. He seems to make millions of dollars out of this.
Because he's got bunch of groupies.
He's a good promoter.
Worship his word.
He's a good promoter. He's a
good promoter. I'll give him that.
I mean, I live in Connecticut. And usually when I tell everybody live in Connecticut, the first words out of their mouths are, "Do you know these people?" And I said, as a kid, every October they would go and they would put a nice show on and they would bring artifacts out and they would talk about things. In Connecticut, you can't get into 95% of the things that they investigated because they have ruined it. Mm-hmm. So it's tough.
Yes, it is. Now, since you mentioned that, it like you said, it's really hard to get into some of these locations down here in Texas. But Texas is so big. I mean, there are hospitals and stuff around every corner. But how far do you guys have to go to get into a location? Most of the people I know up in the Midwest and up in the East have to go through historical societies.
Some you have up here, I can speak for up here. Some you have to go through historical societies. Some you have to go through their network of their protection, their attorneys, their lawyers, their town. Mm-hmm. A lot of them, because they were featured on a lot of different shows, now are and exorbitant amount of money to even step one foot in, and which isn't the best thing. There was one special place for me to go investigate was, and I'll say it, Green Lady Cemetery. That is now no longer allowed. Mm-hmm. Period.
Okay.
Road, and there it was a really small town. You could go to we walked into the police station and said, "Hey, we would like to investigate here. Is it okay?" And they're like, "Thank you for coming and asking." And they were fine with it. Now, you even drive down that road, forget about it.
Now, let me ask you a question about that cemetery. Is that privately owned or is it public?
It's public.
Okay. If your tax dollars are feeding into that cemetery, can't nobody tell you nothing.
You should be able to walk onto that property.
You should be able to walk straight through it, and ain't nobody gonna tell you nothing.
You should, but other teams have now ruined that.
You know,
So
well,
they have somebody at the end of the road and the beginning of the road. So if you're even going, and that's like the same thing with a certain house in Connecticut, you can't even, it's on a dead end road to go visit their museum. You can't even go to their museum. You can't even drive down the road. You're escorted out.
I can think of other tax dollars that
Mm-hmm.
whoever is escorting you out could be doing other things.
Yep.
You know, that's just me.
Yeah.
But I can only tell you guys that here in Texas, I think I went through the Historical Society maybe one time, but we're also dealing with cities. I think Houston is the third largest city in the country. Dallas is probably right behind it, the fourth or fifth largest city. And there's not enough. What I'm saying is there's always a location that's been just being left about. I mean, they really don't care about it. So it's open, you know, so you're able to investigate it without any problems. Now, most of the historical places that have the historical markers and the Historical Society knows for a fact there's something there. Yeah, they're going to want a lot of money. They're going to want a lot of money. And I'm not just, matter of fact, I was just talking to a lady yesterday who wanted to and owns a funeral home, and we just asked, can we do an overnight? She wanted $100 per head.
That's inexpensive.
That's expensive.
And I got 7 members on the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's
$700.
We've seen locations that wanted $300 to $400 per head.
And that is unbelievable, dude. I just can't do that. Do you know how easy it is for somebody to drive down the street and to find a location that you can investigate and you can keep that money in your pocket?
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, I'm like, wow, man, why so much money? You know, and it's, to me, it doesn't seem right.
Yeah, like Lisa Campbell said, money talks.
Money talks.
That's the bottom line.
But see, I'm wondering, with the sudden change that's happening with certain TV programs that are not getting picked back up, and networks that are now shying away from paranormal TV. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with places that are thousands of dollars to try and get your team in.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a second, because I do know some people that do own paranormal locations. They do have bills. They have electricity, water, sewer, gas, heat. They have insurance. They have liability insurance. They do have to be able to pay their bills, upkeep on the building, maintenance on the building. So do they need to bring some kind of an income in? Absolutely. I don't have an issue with that. What I have an issue is when somebody gouges, and I have the issue with
gouging. I mean, price gouging is just, it's a big thing here in Texas, man. Some of the smallest locations are charging unbelievable prices.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't remember the location exactly, but I do know that they said, well, how many followers do you have on TikTok? How many followers do you have on TikTok? How many people do you have on Instagram and Facebook? If you're going to be...
If you can't put us out enough, you're not getting in here.
Yep.
Wow.
Or I think there was another one that I had recently read saying, oh, well, if you're just doing this to come in here to do TikTok, oh no, we don't need you.
Right.
Now they're getting picky. You know what I mean? Now you're getting picky and choosing.
Right? I don't see the difference between TikTok or Facebook. Facebook, Instagram. Yeah. We're all, the thing is, we're all trying to get that notoriety. And just so happens, if you get that notoriety, if we're out there helping to get a location out, okay, we're good. Hey, you help me, I'll help you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yeah.
And that's how it should work.
Mhm.
Yes.
But don't go telling me something like you're saying. Oh no, I can't do that.
Right. I don't blame you.
You know what I'm saying? But guys, let's go back to the beginning, man, because we talked almost 45 minutes, and we talked about how things in the paranormal world are. But let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
I really want to, because like I said, there's a lot of teams out there that are, bringing in new equipment for investigations. What are you guys working with when it comes to you guys going out and doing an investigation?
Okay. If we go in to help a client, if they're close enough for us to do an actual investigation, if they want evidence, we will go in, investigate, and attempt to get them some evidence. EVPs, video, whatever we can. That assists in helping that client understand the fact that they are not crazy. This is really happening.
Which is important.
If they know it's happening and they don't care about the evidence, we just go in and do the thing.
Yep.
We will take voice recorders in to record just to make sure and go back and see if what we were seeing and feeling and hearing is also what was actually happening. Verifying, we're doing the thing proper. But normally we just use ourselves. We just use our gifts. We go in, see what's there. A lot of times our spirit guides will step in and say, "Hey, this is how you deal with this." Cool. Thank you. Verification.
Verification.
And we help those people. We help those spirits that need help. And sometimes you will run into non-human entities. They can be rather interesting. They can be very nasty, or they can look nasty and be a big old teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know until you start talking to them.
Right. You're actually right.
Just because something seems demonic, you hear that term, like you said earlier, all the time. Demon. No. A spirit that has been here for a long time and is still angry, can't get any help, they can do some very, quote, demonic activity. It's still a human spirit.
Exactly.
It's not a demon. Very seldom do you run into an actual demonic possession. Very seldom.
I mean, there's a difference between spirit mechanics always talk about it. Keith always talks about it. There's demons, and then there's daemons.
One shouldn't be here. One's here, got a job to do to keep the balance.
Yep.
And it will normally say, "I see you. You stay over there. I'll stay over here. You do your thing. I do my thing."
And everything could be good.
Then you got an issue.
I mean, and to further go along with all these kids between 18 and 30 years old, 30-year-old mark, bringing in all this new fancy dancy lights and whistles, all this kind of tech. I mean,
that's all good.
Are they getting the same response that we would get with just an SB7, a speaker, and a voice recorder?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
but you know what? I think, me personally, that when they bring in new equipment to an investigation, let's play devil's advocate, Keith, Renee. Let's switch the roles up a little bit. Let's say I'm that spirit, and and you come in the week before this other team comes in, and you come in with the same thing that every other team that tried to get my attention. And I'm like, whoa, man, I ain't dealing with you guys, because this is the same stuff that you guys tried to hit me up on, a couple of times ago. So I'm not going to deal with it. I'm going to walk away.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Now these new guys come in with all this new tech, and I'm curious about it. So I want to play with it.
Not wrong, kid with a new toy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I agree. I agree. But sometimes I still think tried and true is always a good thing. I mean, and it's and we've gotten away from some of the simpler things. I know when I was about 20, 25, my husband and I and a bunch of friends, we had, had gone somewhere and did some things. And I mean, I'll never forget it. It was a furniture store that was haunted. And we put down a simple black garbage bag with baby powder over,
Yes.
over something and
Yes.
just left it and came back. Oh, it moved. Because we had the outline, I mean, sometimes I think, who's to say some of the newer stuff, it's going to take a while for them to get acclimated to use it because something
they gotta
new.
learn.
They got to
Right.
learn.
Or, this, I'm much older than you guys. I remember when Kolchak, Night Stalker, a TV show from the 70s. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, I'm 45, but
Nah, see, that's
I've
before your
watched,
time.
but no, I've watched some really good TV
Well, Kolchak, Night Stalker, used to come on ABC, Channel 24 after 11. All he had was, you guys remember those 1980 video recorders about that long, about that wide, and you hit the two buttons and you start recording and you pop a tape in. That's all he had.
Yep.
And a mic.
Yeah.
That's it. He didn't have nothing else. None of this, nothing else.
The Warrens.
The Warrens, Holzer, he used reel to reel.
Yeah.
He used reel to reel when he did his stuff.
Tape.
And dude, I'm like, man, if I can find one of those today, hell, I'd throw my $100 voice recorder in the trash.
You'd be surprised. There's companies out there that are still making those old school tape recorders.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man,
it's the new thing now to go back to the 80s, right?
Old
and
stuff.
get all that old stuff again.
Yeah. But and like I'm telling these guys, hey, man, I commend you guys on what you're doing. Hell, I'm even a victim. I've even introduced some new stuff to the world. Just to see what paranormal investigators think or what they consider using it. So I've actually done, I've seen other teams do it, and I've actually done it myself. And I can honestly say I've had great success with it. Especially you guys that use cameras. Me myself, when I started this, I had like 8 cameras. Now I'm down to like 4.
Yeah. Going over that footage, I tell you what, going over audio recordings, everybody thinks being a paranormal investigator is all jumps and scares and exciting and constant activity. No. 3/4 of it is sitting there for hours talking to things and not getting any response, not seeing anything on the video. And then you have to go through all that audio and video to double check. And a 4-hour investigation can take 16 hours, 24 hours to go over.
Exactly.
Probably.
Yes,
Double
sir.
that by how many cameras and video and all everything you've got to go through.
Yes, sir. And we're not even including our everyday lives that we have to, that we're living, going, and we know we got to do that. We keep putting it off. Yeah, everyday life itself, when you're an investigator and you got to go look through all that video footage, audio, and, pictures, man, there is a lot to do. It's not for the faint in heart. No. I'm not saying it's not rewarding, because the reward that we're getting out of it is when we see the smile on a family or somebody that owns a residence and we're able to help them out.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. That is why we do what we do. My entire team has had issues with paranormal activity at some point in their life, and they received help, me included. And we've learned enough and we care enough that we want to help other people get the same help that we got. to get their life back, to get their peace back, to get their freedom back. That's why we do it. Sometimes it's very simple. Okay, something keeps hiding your cigarettes or keeps throwing them in the trash. Well, it's one of your spirit guides telling you to quit smoking.
Exactly.
And once they get that message and they start to quit smoking, guess what? The paranormal activity stops.
Yeah, stops. Or, it. See, the one thing that people needs to understand is all paranormal activity is not from the outside. Most paranormal activity that are in your house is your basic family member that have passed away.
A lot of times.
Your mother, your aunt, your sister, your cousin, somebody that you're close to that want to communicate with you.
Yeah.
And, and like you said, Keith, most of them just want to, to make sure you're okay.
Yes. Not wrong.
Yes.
Most of them, and believe it or not, man, you could be driving down the road, hell, and they'll be sitting in your damn back seat and you won't even freaking know it.
Yeah. They'll put a song on the radio for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
It reminds you of them. Hey, I'm here.
Yep. You park the car, you get out, you look down, there's the dime, the quarter, the penny.
Yes.
And the thing about it is a lot of people don't want that in their lives. They are scared of the what ifs.
Hey, Vegas.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you so scared of the what if? Why are you so scared? Okay, what if your mother, your grandmother is standing next to you? She's family. She's not going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So that word, they are so paranoid. Today's society is so paranoid of the what ifs.
Not wrong.
Not wrong. And
in many aspects.
I think sometimes, because if it's a family member or friend or what have you, your own mortality is put into question. Like, oh, that's going to be like, I'm going to die someday.
What if I get stuck?
And then what if I get stuck? Because like that was like one of the things how like I met Keith was, of course, during our lovely 2020, 2021, Facebook Lives and such. My question to him, I'll never forget it, was my grandfather stuck? Like that was I kept playing over and over in my mind. My grandfather stuck. My father stuck. My grandmother stuck. Like, oh my God, like, are they stuck? And once I learned that no, and that I might be making them stay here when they don't need to, and I have to be the one to let them go, then it got better.
It's a thing.
But the one thing that I've realized in all of this is being a spirit, it's a universal thing. Spirits can come and go as they please. For an example, you might think that somebody is stuck, but man, they might zip in and zip out.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean that they're stuck. And if they are stuck, it's not such a bad thing because they're stuck because they want to be next to their family.
Yeah, they choose to.
Mm-hmm.
They choose to.
A lot of them choose to. And once you cross over, they can come back and visit you any time they want to.
But yeah, here's the thing. It's a win-win situation either way. I think so.
You got somebody watching out for you.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. It's a win-win situation either way. Now, on the other hand, is let's say for an example, is you live the bad life. You live that life. You committed bad things, and and either way, you got to be judged.
Yeah.
There's no ifs and buts about it.
In almost all religions, you get judged.
Yeah.
Yes, all religions you got to be judged. So if you, it's a good chance that, and this where these, these bad spirits, they go around throwing stuff, and that's where they come into play at, because if you're bad in life, it's a good chance you're going to be bad in death.
Not wrong.
You know what I'm
Not
saying?
wrong.
So, like I always tell these people, man, try to be a good person, in this life, because you only got one life and you got to live it to the fullest. Enjoy it. Get out, see the world, and make sure you live your life to the fullest, because your next life, because you don't want to be that bad spirit. You want to be that good spirit that, that can go and come and just, hang out with family members or spend time with family members that have gone long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
You know
I look at death itself differently than a lot of people do. Is there loss? Absolutely. Can it be devastating loss? Absolutely. But I look at the people that they have lost in their life, and guess what? They get to go see those people. They get a big happy reunion there. Yeah, they lose people here, we lose them, but they gain the ones that they've lost. Plus, they get to watch over us.
Exactly.
I be happy for them.
Exactly.
They're not stuck in this 3D like we still are.
Yeah. And choose to come back every time.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I like it's a win-win situation, man. If you're a good guy, you're a good guy in life. You live by the rules and the regulations that was set before you.
Karma.
And like you say, it's a good chance you're gonna see your family again. Hell, I just lost my wife in March.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I know that she will want me to keep doing what I'm doing. And I know I'm gonna see her again. And I couldn't tell how many times I'm sleeping and I hear her call my name and I get up because I'm thinking she's right there next to me, and I'm like, oh man, you come back to get me or what?
Listen for that song. I'm supposed to tell you to listen for that song. I don't know what that's about, but I'm supposed to tell you to listen for that song.
Well, oh my God. Yeah, I don't know what that's about either, but there's always something that, that people, just be happy up with yourself, man. I mean, it don't make no sense to be miserable.
That we create our own mindset. We create how our life goes every day by every decision we make. Exactly. I get up in the morning. I thank Spirit for another day. I say it a little differently, but I'm not going to say it like I do myself because we're on air. But I thank Spirit. Thank you. I got to open my eyes again. I got to help somebody. I got a chance to help somebody today. I tell myself, today is going to be a good day. I don't say it's Monday because that's the intent right there. It's right. It's a new day. It's going to be a good day. I don't care what happens. We're just going to let it flow. We're going to get through it. I can walk into work and it's chaos in there because we have 4 molds, big plastic injection molds that busted overnight. Okay, well, guess what? I got something to do today. That's how I look at it.
Yep. There you go.
It's just all in how you program your mindset. And if you've had a negative mindset for a long time, it's going to take time to reprogram it.
Yep. Now, what do any of your parents still around?
Yes.
My mom is.
What does mom and your mom think about the stuff that you do?
My mom doesn't think anything about it because she doesn't remember I do it. She's got dementia.
Ah, okay.
And my mom was a devout Catholic. 12 years of Catholic school. Since my father and my grandfather passed away, because they passed away with 6 months within each other, she's opened to a lot of things, and she's starting to see things, and she's starting to ask me, like, Renee, should I, like tonight, she's like, should I it's full moon. Should I make moon water? And I go, that's up to you. I wouldn't, but if you want to, you can. Or I say, how do I sage the house the right way? Or what's Florida water? So she's coming around to it.
Right. Okay, cool. That's cool. Now, we're going to talk about a sticky subject here because you brought it up, so I might as well bring it up. The Catholic Church.
I am a recovering Catholicism. Sorry. I'm
recovering.
Catholic Church. Now, tell me, why do you think, Keith, the Catholic Church has backed away from the whole paranormal thing compared to what they used to do in the 15th and the 16th centuries?
I'm just going to say it. Organized religion is the best way to control a populace. Nowadays, back then, they could use force. If you did not believe in their ways, you would be killed. Crusades, etc. Nowadays, that's not such a thing. They have to convince you to follow them. Do this or you're going to hell. Do this or you're going to hell. First Testament of the Bible, hell is not mentioned. It's not till the King James Version came out that Jesus starts mentioning hell.
Somebody needs to hear this.
So, if you really want to learn about controlling a populace, read the first version, the original version of the Bible compared to the second. Then look at how many books were removed from that version of the Bible, including the Book of Enoch, which speaks of things from the skies and whatnot.
Right.
Do your homework. Do your own homework on it. But as far as the Catholic Church backing away from the paranormal, they had a few incidents that did not turn out so well. And they thought maybe we need to just take a step back. We need to train a little better. Not to mention the fact that the Vatican, oh God, that's a sticky situation to go into. Let's just say they've lost some strength. I'll leave it there. They've lost some strength. And they no longer have the pull that they once did.
Right. Now, one thing that because I've noticed over the years that I've been on this planet is that, and I've been here a long time, the Catholic Church used to praise paranormal investigators. They used to send us out and to investigate things that they thought was interesting, but not so more today. Whenever the Catholic Church was like, oh man, there's a Bigfoot in Transylvania or this and that, they would send paranormal investigators out there to investigate, then come back and report, but not so much today. It's, I mean, maybe they know something that we don't.
Oh, they know a lot.
Oh, they know more. Oh, the roads of gold end in Rome. That's all I'm going to say.
The books.
Oh, yeah.
The books.
I love to hit that vault.
I would love to get my hands on some of them.
I would love to hit that vault. Give me 30 minutes in that vault.
Yes, absolutely. With an interpreter.
Yes. You got to have an interpreter because some of that stuff is in a language probably it's not even spoken of today.
Yeah. Yes. I'm seeing it. It is Sumerian, ancient Sumerian.
Oh yeah.
Love to read me some ancient Sumerian.
And probably before that, because I know this world is very old and very ancient.
Yes.
And I also believe that everything recycles itself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Else is on our wavelength, Keith.
They say there have only been so many intelligent civilizations. Okay. Well, they're not taking into account how old the Earth is, how this plate slides under this plate. The friction melts everything. It becomes magma. The other plate gets pushed up. Everything gets destroyed and then worn down through erosion. How many times has this planet been recycled?
Oh, wait, man. Hey, if I had a time machine, we can go back and see,
Yeah.
because that would be very interesting. But the
Yes.
question is, would people believe us?
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
So
I
many
doubt
people don't even believe in the city of Atlantis. They don't believe, there's a possibility that the Mayans went underground, and you know, it's one day they just up and disappeared.
Yeah. Hey, man. And you know what? People don't believe, especially, there's a lot of people out there that don't believe that the Anunnaki made black people. We were created by a race of aliens who were just as dark as ourselves. Now, if that's true, we're trying to veering off course here, but is that true? I don't know. I would like to go back and see. But the question is the Anunnaki built the temples in Egypt?
Enlil and Enki.
Now, is that true?
If I remember right. Two brothers, lizard people, lizard gods.
Supposedly.
Okay? One wanted to enslave humankind, made humankind to enslave, or modified humankind in order to enslave. The other wanted to give knowledge. Think about what in the Garden of Eden gave the apple from the tree of knowledge, a serpent, a lizard. Makes you think.
I see where you're going with this.
Makes you think.
It make you want to go,
Keith and I have had numerous late night conversations about things like this.
Yes.
It would be very interesting.
Because of that. And one of them supposedly fled to South America and became Quetzalcoatl.
Well, very interesting. You know what? It's a topic for another day.
Hear you.
Because I would love to bring on a couple more individuals that feel the same way like you do and study the same things that you do. And that would be one interesting podcast. I can almost guarantee you.
Yes,
that would be.
That would be one interesting. Yeah, man. Okay, guys. Hey, man, it's been an hour and 12 minutes. And man, I've learned so much. And that's the reason why I reach out to paranormal teams. I don't wait for them to reach out to me. I reach out to them. If you got a phone number on your Facebook, best to show. I'm going to be calling you. You know, some of them answer, some of them don't. I'll leave a voicemail. Some of them, might return my call. Some of them don't. But man, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show.
Appreciate you having us on.
You know what I'm saying?
Me and him played phone tag for like 2 weeks trying to get a hold of each other.
Yeah, man. It's, me working 2 jobs, it's just,
I hear you.
Man, and my kid's in college. I'm trying to stay with him. My other son is, who knows what he does. And my older son, he's busy. I mean, everybody's busy since mom passed away. I'm trying to be mom and dad. I want that sensitivity like a mom has.
Yeah.
Because when she was here, I was always the enforcer.
You were the masculine, she was the feminine.
Yeah, I was always, well, go talk to your dad. But now that she's gone, I have to kind of put a little sensitivity into my life, a little understanding from a woman's point of view, which is really hard because I've always looked at certain things as from a man's point of view, totally two different. So we know that's totally two different. But I mean, I'm really trying to balance everything, especially my youngest one, who's in college. He's used to speaking to his mom every day on the phone.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to keep that going. And but mom always had something to talk about. But with me, I'll usually say what I have to say and get it off my mind in my chest, and I'm done with.
That's me. That's me. My kid was down here today, dropped my car trailer off, and he came in, talked to me about a couple things, and then I'm like, okay, I got stuff to do.
See you later,
son. But
he
was like, okay, I've had enough too. I got to go do things too. I'm like, cool. See you later, love you.
But it's good because you guys need that balance. You know what I mean? You guys need that balance. You need that feminine side, just like with me. Like I try to bring some of that masculine out when I need to.
Yeah, and what's so crazy about it, with her being gone for a short amount of time, and I'm still doing a lot of grieving and a lot of trying to figure things out, and I have a friend that lives in Japan. Her name is Irene. Very gifted young lady. So I'm actually able to commune with my wife.
Nice.
And, and the thing about spirits is they're not as talkative. They really don't have much to say when they crossed over. My wife was a hella talkative. She would talk you to death. But whenever I, have a session with Irene, my wife don't have nothing to say. I'm like, is there anything I can do for you? I mean, I know that I can't.
Yeah.
But, but besides, hey, tell the kids I love them, blah, 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 this and that, all the basic things. But, they're not just as talkative. At least my wife, it wasn't. She's not as talkative as she is when she was alive.
Well, if you think about it, if you believe in reincarnation, in past lives, etc., this reincarnation of me is more than likely a total different person than my reincarnation 500 years ago.
Right.
I'm going to be a different sign. I'm going to be, different sun, moon, rising sign, which is going to affect my personality. Me growing up would be different. Now, when I cross over, that's when we remember we're a light body. We remember everything we've learned in the past. We're not who we were here. Sometimes you stick around for a little bit in this aspect as a spirit. You cross, go to heaven, whatever your belief is.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you remember, I'm a light body. This is why I go to Earth, to learn. This is why I go here to this planet to reincarnate, to learn. I see you. Still care about you. I know you. But they won't be the same person.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense because man, I've tried to hold conversations and she was like, didn't have nothing to say. She says, I'm good. I'm living. I'm actually, I'm in the flower garden. I'm this, I'm that, I'm good. Tell the kids I love them. And so actually last week, because as your first significant other passes away, then you got to make sure that all your ducks are in order. So when your time comes, you make sure everything is okay.
Yeah.
So, I started talking to the kids about it. I'm like, well, because I'm going to be honest with you. Before my wife passed away, Keith, I was petrified of dying. I was so scared. I was like, man, I can't die. I can't die. I know it's going to happen, but I was so petrified in me going through that whole motion.
Yeah.
Now that she has passed away, and I kind of have an idea on what to expect when I get there, I'm not so scared anymore.
That I've made peace with everything I've done in my life. I went through my life and picked it apart. and I made peace with everything. When it is my time, it is my time. And guess what? I get to go home.
Right.
I get to go home.
You know, and I told her, and you know, because my wife, she loved to dance. And, you know, and I told her in a session, I like, well, you know what? When I get there and I see you, we're going to dance the night away. We're just going to go and we're going to have fun and we're going to dance. We're going to do this, you know, because.
Maybe that's where that message came from. Listen for that song.
Yep.
Maybe. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to make sure my ducks are in order.
Yeah. Make it easy for our children.
Yes, it'll be so much easier for the kids. The kids won't have to struggle. But I also asked my wife, because when I die, when I pass on, I always told her, because I always had that feeling that I was going to go before her. And I told her, I like, well, just cremate me. Cremate me and just take me back home to Colorado and just throw me over the biggest, most beautiful mountainside you can find.
Yeah.
Because that's what I cherish the most.
There you go.
And just toss me out. You know, but now I'm like, I know where she's at. I visited her today. I left my offering with her, which was a Dr. Pepper and a Hershey bar.
Nice.
That's what she likes.
That's what some people forget, to bring their favorite things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, so my offerings, you know, I gave her the offerings and, you know, and I was talking to her and I'm like, well, and I looked down, I'm like, man, there's a slot for me right there, right next to you. Should I just go ahead and just have myself put here? Or should I have myself cremated like, you know, like I intended to? But then I talked to my good friend of mine, and my wife had the strangest thing is my wife told me, because she's like, well, it doesn't matter where you are, long as your soul is going to be with me.
That.
And it kind of made me laugh, you know, and I'm like, wow, man, she hit me pretty hard with that one. Wow. And I'm like, okay, you know, yeah, all right. So it really don't matter. But then again, I want that, you know, something just telling me, guys, that I should be next to her. Whether I'm there or not in spirit, that my body should be next to her.
It's a thing.
And, you know, and so should my kids, you know, when it's their time, it should be a whole row of us right there. And so on and so on and so on. So I'm kind of leaning towards, you know, not being cremated and, you know, being laid to rest next to her, where I think it's a beautiful thing, knowing that you got your mother, your dad there, you know, and, you know, your potential sons and grandsons. And yeah, I mean, I think that'd be a nice thing for me to do, you know, but yeah. I'm still thinking about it. All right, guys, enough about me. Enough about me. Hey.
Yeah.
We're all paranormal investigators, man. And this is a big old world. Man. If you guys had a bucket list on where you want to investigate, where would you guys go? Well, no matter where.
Well, this past weekend we got to do one off my bucket list. So I mean, I got one on.
Yeah, we got to hit Bobby Mackey's. That was amazing.
The Bobby Mackey's. Hey man, is that damn hole still in the ground over there?
The hole is still there.
Still there.
It is a hole in the ground. That is, in my opinion.
In our opinion, yes, it is a hole in the ground. That is a hole in the ground.
And that's all it is. It's not a stairway to hell and all.
No,
like they claim it is.
No. Now, is there a lot of paranormal activity in that building? Absolutely. However, we didn't come across anything demonic, anything nasty. There is a spirit in the bathroom that likes to throw things at people. Steve, leader of the spirit mechanics, he was in the stall and he's blind. He's got a cane and literally tossed his cane over the stall.
Oh, wow. Did it hit him?
There's a creepy mirror in the ladies' room. I'll put it that much.
Yeah.
Well, there's always a creepy mirror in the ladies' room.
But it was an amazing, very eventful night. I'm glad for the opportunity. Like I said, it's crossed off my bucket list. I'm good.
How much they charge you guys?
We kind of got a special deal. One of the spirit mechanics has a lot to do with that location. So an offer was made and we jumped on it.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know what they charge.
Yeah.
Was it an overnight investigation or a couple hours?
A few hours.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, you don't need an overnight. You know, most people like to do overnights. I did 2 overnight investigations and I didn't sleep in neither one of them because there was a lot of activity going on. And that, no. No. But yeah, man. All right, young lady. Where else would you like to go besides Bobby Mackey?
Alcatraz.
I was going to say that.
Huge one because I have actually a connection to Alcatraz. So that's one reason I'd absolutely love to go. The other one, I know this might sound morbid, but Sharon Tate's.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Sharon Tate's the Manson murder. Sharon Tate.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You know, a lot of the old Hollywood stomping grounds because we have, you had the mob tied in with things and just to go there.
Cool.
Okay, Keith. Where would you like to go besides Bobby Mackey?
I'm with her, Alcatraz.
Alcatraz. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Just one brief question. Out of all the places that are haunted, why Alcatraz? I'm just saying. I mean, Alcatraz.
The challenge.
It's a challenge because not many people have done Alcatraz. That that if we want to do of TV persuasion of it, only I think 2 shows have gone there that I can think of that, and I mean, everybody does Waverly Hills, everybody does Ohio, everybody goes to, Penthurst, everybody goes to Gettysburg, so it's just, and there's Alcatraz has such a different feel and it was so many different, it was a jail, yes, but then after that we had, because I'm also a history buff at being a researcher. So then you had the whole taken over when the Indians were there. You had all these different stages that Alcatraz has gone through.
It'd be cool.
My turn.
Yeah, what's yours?
Good.
All right, guys. This is going to shock you. But one is not too far from where you at, Miss Connecticut. The Island of the Dead in New York. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And
that one.
we're going to jump on a boat and we're going to go to Europe. Now we're going to go to France. And we're going to go to Germany. France, I'd like to go investigate Normandy Beach.
Okay.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
All that residual energy floating around there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then I want to take it. It don't matter which concentration camp, but Auschwitz was the most popular one. But yeah, I would like to go to a concentration camp either in France or in Germany and just sit down on a bench, not even with the camera, just with a voice recorder and record everything that I could capture.
Yeah.
And I think,
just commune with them.
yeah, and I think that would be enough right there. Oh yeah, and bring me some paper, some towels, because all the sorrow, all the sadness that is there. Hey, I'm bound to cry. You know what I'm saying? I've done enough crying within the last 6 months because of my wife, but I know when something like that hits you that hard in your chest, oh yeah, you the strongest man is gonna shed a tear.
Yeah. When you cross the spirit over, a lot of times you will feel all of their emotion as they are crossing, and it can drop you in a heartbeat.
Yeah, definitely. And man, it can. Oh my God. So yeah, bring me a bunch of napkins, tissues, and all that stuff. But I don't need a camera because I don't even think you're allowed to take cameras in there.
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
But a voice recorder, you can get one like that big and take in there.
I mean, if we're gonna now say if you're gonna put all Europe into it, another one would be just because of history with me would be Anne Frank's house.
Castles of Ireland.
Castles of Ireland too.
Oh, the Castles of Ireland, but that's not the most famous castle in Europe.
It's where my family's from, at least part of my family.
Dracula's castle.
Which one?
Yeah.
Many castles.
Wait, the one in
Transylvania?
Yeah.
If you talk to some of the locals say that wasn't the one.
Really?
Yes. He had many, so we don't truly know.
Vlad the Impaler.
Yep.
Maybe I need to find a long lost relative of Van Helsing, and maybe they can tell me.
There you go.
Can you imagine? Do you really think he's out there?
I don't know.
I'm not related to.
All right. Hey, guys, tell the world how to get a hold of you guys.
Easiest way is Facebook. We have a Cobra Paranormal group and a Cobra Paranormal page, both.
Mm-hmm.
We share out different things to them. Also, I do a show on Monday nights called The Otter's Den. So, that's pretty much the easiest way. We did have a website, but there were tech issues with it and glitched and got screwed financially on it. So I let it go. Eventually, we'll have another one. But for right now, Facebook is the best way to get hold.
Or you could just call him like I did.
Keith picks his phone up. Trust me.
Oh, man. Hey, but you know what, guys? I really appreciate you guys coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Man, it's been educational and it's been fun.
Yes, absolutely.
I love to keep my guests laughing, and I love to keep my podcast interesting.
Yes.
And that's just me. You know what I'm saying? But with enough said, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Appreciate it.
And go watch some football or go eat, dinner, or go hang out with the cats and dogs outside like I'm gonna go do.
There we go.
But hey, man, it has been a pleasure, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys coming on the show. But tomorrow night I will be in upstate New York with the team called let's see if I get the name right. Imperial Paranormal I think they're from Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
Good Buffalo.
That'd be fun.
So feel free, man, to jump on, man. Ask these guys 1,000,001 questions, because we do know as paranormal investigators, no two teams investigate the same way.
Correct.
Everybody always brings something different to the table, and that's what I like.
And it doesn't hurt to look at other ways of investigating. We might
learn something.
Yes, learning is it's not only it's universal. You learn something every day. Before I get out of here, the one thing that I tell these kids when they say, "Man, I want to go on vacation," I want to go here, I want to go there. And do you know what I always tell them?
What's that?
Open up your book in your minds, and that can take you anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know, but some of these kids don't open up a book or their minds.
Nope.
You know, and that's how, you know, that's a story for another day. But anyway, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys coming on the show. Feel free to share this podcast with everybody you know.
Absolutely. I already have.
Yes.
You know, and
Same.
make sure you guys go hit that like, share, subscribe button, all that good stuff. Hey, and feel free, man, to reach back out to me. I'd love to hear from you guys. You know, if you guys got an investigation that you guys are doing live on, hey, please.
Cool.
Let me know, because I would definitely tap into you and let you know if I see something creepy in the corner.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey, you guys enjoy the rest of your night now.
You too.
You too.
Peace. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.